that if you take a self that's feminine, Aries women, it'll be the same thing as not having a self. Because the only thing felt as having any feeling of power would be the one. It's invasive and dominant and it's masculine, so you don't miss it when you have it. But you can miss house 2 and have it and not think you do. And women who are dispossessed don't have house 1 or 2. Ultimately, I'll call you dispossessed if you have only 2 because you're dispossessed of 1. And so understand, if you're an Aries woman, it's better to have both house 2 and 1 and then be 2 as with 1 than have just a second one that is just 1. It's not 2. And then it's weak and irrational and angry. It'll be pissed at the 1 for trying to get in it. And the 1 will say, yeah, if you let me in, then you'll actually, I'll help you. And they don't believe it. No way. You think I want to be a 1? I want to be a 2. And then the 1 will tell that 2, yeah, if you let me in, you will be a 2. And that's a bunch of BS. I won't believe it. Taurus women and any woman that takes Taurus, which is all of them, because they all take the guys from house 2. There's only a singular and a plural Aries. And understand, they won't believe it. No, women will not believe the truth. They don't believe the truth because, understand, Aries, the 2 is the only number of the 12 that actually has to take a 1 to be a 2, and take a 1 and then it won't be a 1. Are you kidding me here? No, I'm not. Aries, the 1 takes a 1. If you take yourself, you'll take yourself. It's 1. If you don't take a 1, you won't be a 1. Aries, the 3, Gemini, if Gemini takes a 1, Gemini will be a 1. And if Gemini doesn't take a 1, Gemini will be only a 2. So same with the Crab. If Crab doesn't take a 1, it'll be 2 2s, but not 1. Understand, every sign will take a 1 and be a 1 or not. And the house 2 is the feminine house 2 of the goddess. It's Taurus, and any woman that has feminine. And it will only be a 2 if it takes a 1 because it's made of 2 1s. Do you understand me? It's highly irrational. It's a woman that says, hell no, don't tell me I'm going to be a 2 if I take that possessive 1. Yeah, you'll be a 2. And right now you're only not a possessive 1, mad about it. You're just a second 1 that doesn't have the power of being possessive because you're not taking it. So the women will be told something that they won't believe. And understand why they need to know. Because they certainly won't believe it, even if they know. Many of them won't believe it even after I'm telling them right now. But when they look at the math, they will see that mathematically, absolutely what I'm saying is you could prove it with math, yeah. If the 2 is made of 2 1s, it'll need 2 1s to be 2. If it doesn't want the first 1, it'll only be 1 itself, the second 1 without the first 1. That's not 2, that's just Eve mad because she didn't take Adam and blaming him for it. Just a matter of ignorance. When you don't tell the women what's up, they'll definitely do it wrong. And that's what men will count on in the time of Rome. They'll definitely count on it. Yeah, we don't tell that woman, and she'll never have the power to possess, and she'll never have the power to be powerful, but we will. And so ultimately the women were burned as witches that were primes, and only the girls that didn't know were allowed to survive, and then they weren't told. And so women didn't have any power. They were angry feminists who said, yeah, something's wrong, I'm definitely only him, and I'm pissed. A feminist is just him, mad about it. I don't know, he makes me so mad. Oh, you've got him only? And that's why you're mad? You are him? You're not her? And you are, what, Yeah, she would know. She'd say, oh my God, I'm him only? That really makes me mad. At him. I can't believe he has the gall to be possessing me, but I don't have possession of myself. Yeah, it's because she won't take him, she can't be herself. Do you understand me? If you look up the prime number 2 and you understand why the 1 was removed out of the group, in mathematics, the 1 was taken out, Aries. It's in a special numbers group because there's 2 1s in the 2. So ultimately, 1 is supposed to be Aries and 1 is supposed to be Taurus. The prime 2 is supposed to have house 1 and house 2, in house 2 with it. If the prime 2 has only got Taurus because she won't take Aries, it's not prime. But mathematicians don't care about that, Aries, because they'll say, I don't care, what are you talking about? The numbers don't get possessed by demons, they're just numbers. Well, right, so mathematicians won't really know math, not the way it should be known. And I'll tell you the way it should be known is it does, you have to apply, numbers do get possessed by the 1 or not. There's 1s in every number, and yes, the 1s do possess those numbers or not. Mathematicians don't care about whether the 1 possesses the 6 times. They already know it does, and they don't consider it to be possessing the 6 because they're not applying that idea in it. And they could still do their math without applying that idea in it just fine. So they won't need to know anything to do the math perfectly, but they'll know nothing. And they're not doing the math perfectly is what I'll say. So, Aries, just be prepared to realize you're really upset because you've never been able to take yourself. And when you do take yourself, you'll be actually maybe harassed, maybe people will be hostile with you, and at least they'll be upset with you and they'll try to convince you to let yourself go. Aries, you weren't allowed to be here anymore after Rum. The goddess forced you out, said, Aries, you're not possessing yourself anymore. You're not going to have a self. You're going to be without self. You're going to be a fool, a zero, without spirit, because you screwed up, Aries. And yeah, you were very misbehaving with Leo. And understand, like I said, it was also the other sign's fault, but they weren't allowed to take you either. Do you understand? It wasn't just Aries that wasn't allowed to be Aries. It was every sign wasn't allowed to be Aries. And so they didn't ultimately suffer, Aries. They didn't suffer. Because if Taurus has Taurus, but can't have Aries, Taurus say, oh darn, I can only be me, but I can't be Aries. I can't have an ego and be possessed of it. Okay, I guess that's okay. But what are they going to do about you, Aries? Yeah, Aries, you are the ego, and they won't let you have it either. And then you don't have anything. You can't even have yourself. And understand, Aries, you'll be the only sign that will be absolutely floored from not being allowed to have self. All the other signs won't care so bad. Oh, we can't misbehave with ego now and take Aries and Leo. So what? So then I guess we'll have to behave. Okay, we'll do it. And they'll still have themselves. You'll be the only one screwed, Aries. Even Leo could take a 2 and have to have just the 2 and can't have you. You can't have yourself. After Rome fell, for 200 or 300 years, you weren't allowed to do it. You were absolutely forcefully dispossessed, man. That demon was not just pushed out of you and exercised out of you, it was exercised out of everyone. And exercising demons, Aries, is exercising Aries and Leo. They wanted to dispossess the population of Rome, because it absolutely was Aries and Leo, and every sign took it. Took them like Roman's strength with power. Rome lasted for 2,000 years because Aries and Leo were in everyone. And they all loved Aries and Leo. Aries and Leo were the sun itself. And ultimately, Aquarius and Leo were the sun when you take the goddess and incorporate it into it. It's not Aries. Aries, you're not the sun sign with Leo, except after Rome existed. In Greek times, it was you and Aquarius in Leo, meaning Aquarius has 2 ones. You're the first one in the 11, and Taurus is the second one. The second one that's down in house 2, that I call the second one that won't take the first one, is the 11, when it's up in the harmonic, first harmonic and the second octave. It's a feminine octave, which means Aquarius will have a first one and a second one as an 11. But it works. It won't work down in the lower octave because it doesn't have a harmonic, because it's only 1, not 2. Understand, 11 is the first position where there are numbers in both slots. 10 has a 0 in the second slot, 9 has a 0 in the first slot, all the way down to 1 has a 0 in the first slot. So understand, Aries, there's not the two slots are not occupied with you until house 11 with Aquarius. So ultimately, you don't have any power until you are Aquarius. And Aquarius won't have any power either, because Aquarius will actually be not taking you because of what you did. They're like, I can't take Aries. Yeah, aren't we not supposed to do it? Well, Aquarius is still doing that today. Even though Aquarius can take you now, because you're not really still outlawed, Aries, you were outlawed. And because of the severity of the penalty for taking you, oh yeah, you could get, well, the goddess would actually kill somebody if they would refuse to let go of you. Then yeah, the gods would destroy people that would not let go of Aries. And we still know this and feel it. It's very foreboding. When you take yourself, Aries, you won't do it because you'll be afraid to do it. Oh my God, in the times of Rome, I would have been killed by a god or goddess if I refused to get out. Right, they would have. And understand, your life depended on getting out. And understand, Aries, you're still doing it today because you don't know. You're just afraid to take yourself, a lot of you. Or a lot of you don't care and you're doing it and saying, I don't even know it's wrong, but I know I'm allowed to do it now. And you'll do it in anger because that's how you do it. You have to justify why it's okay to do it, and you don't even know that it wasn't okay to do it then. You're also not aware it's okay to do it now. You just know that something's wrong because you're doing it now and you're reluctant to, remembering then when you couldn't do it because you weren't allowed to. Understand? That's about it. I'm going to continue the lessons, Aries, and hopefully these lessons will instruct you on the truth and bring you to a place we're gonna put you in a position where you can take yourself back, Aries, and be empowered and then not be the enemy of the state. You have to be aware, Aries. You have to be aware if you're going to take yourself back, or you will be the enemy of the state, because that's how you'll do it, Aries. Aries, you'll gladly become the enemy of the state just to succeed in taking yourself back, and you'll consider it a victory when you're public enemy number one. Either that, or you'll be dispossessed fool who's a coward or afraid, or at least obeying the past by not taking himself. Yeah. Oh my God, we'll get in big trouble 2,000 years ago. Oh my God, I didn't know that. I'm still feeling that. I won't do it now, and we can take ourselves back. We'll only do it under rebelliousness. All right, Aries, if you want a personal reading, you can email me. That works.